Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. All you who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. All you who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. All you who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24.
The Rosicrucian Cosmoconception by Max Heindel. Part 1. Man's Present Constitution and Method of Development. Introduction. The Western world is undoubtedly the vanguard of the human race, and for reasons given in the following pages, it is held by the Rosicrucian that neither Judaism nor popular Christianity, but true esoteric Christianity is to be its world religion. Buddha, great, grand, and sublime, may be the light of Asia, but Christ will yet be acknowledged the light of the world. As the sun outshines the brightest star in the heavens, dispels every vestige of darkness, and gives life and light to all beings, so, in a not too distant future, will the true religion of Christ supersede and obliterate all other religions, to the eternal benefit of mankind. In our civilization, the chasm that stretches between mind and heart yawns deep and wide, and as the mind flies on from discovery to discovery in the realms of science, the gulf becomes ever deeper and wider, and the heart is left further and further behind. The mind loudly demands and will be satisfied with nothing less than a materially demonstrable explanation of
The voice still sucks, but it's better.
and he shall strengthen your heart. All you who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen you.
Why he still sucks.
Be of good courage. Be of good courage.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
The Lord is my light and my salvation. shall strengthen your heart. All you who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24.
Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Whoever wants to become great among you, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many.
Among you must be your servant, and whoever
The wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere, and a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. The wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere, and a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. The wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere, and a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace. Now one viewer. Oh, we got a couple viewers there. Getting car sick, huh?
YouTube, there are many ex-Muslim converted to Christian, claiming that many Muslims are receiving the vision to convert. Okay, so this is a good sign. I'm just saying those are far more effective than having 100 replica of Moses tablet, because they are receiving this right now. These are coming from ex-Muslim, all right? So, and this guy is sharing what is happening to his network of Muslim. They all receiving something. So basically, Hasham is more active, more optimistic than what you're talking about for generation. That's what I'm trying to imply. Not to be insulting, but Hasham is far more busy than you.
Yeah, but Hasham works on his own timeline. He already told us about the end, but like he left the particulars up to us.
To be fair though, Dave, he has more bandwidth. Yes, I know. That's why when Mazet say like fourth generation, I say I agree with you, but why wait for fourth generation? That's why the government say Hasham is more bandwidth.
Listen, it takes literally a second. The entire world could repent and never engage in any of this violence and theft and murder and rape ever again. It literally takes 1 second of decision for every person to just decide. But you didn't act like, and God theoretically could miraculously do that, but He doesn't. He left us free will. We are curious. We explore. We want to see whether we should actually be killing for these things or not. And God lets us see for ourselves.
What does that have to do with it?
Saying I don't think God's going to fix it. God left it to us. He gave us the tools to fix it. That's part of the whole project here.
He left us the tools to fix what? To fix the killers?
Yes.
How do you fix the killers?
You inscribe the Torah upon their heart.
Well, we don't have access to their heart. Hasham has the bandwidth, and Hasham is doing this, and Hasham is working group of ex-Muslim, turning them to non-Muslim, and give them the free will to spread the Hasham gospel.
Well,
If we had access to the heart, Moshiach would be here, McJay.
Mashiach is now.
What makes you think we are not trying to gain access to everyone's heart?
We are trying, but we don't have access to it.
Well, it's not exactly true.
Okay, explain.
We have language.
Good.
We have language already. That means that I can say a specific word like elephant, control the thought that comes to your head a little bit.
You have access to their ear.
No, not through your eyes. You're able to read.
Ear and eye.
Express. I'm able to understand what you think as well. This is the amazing thing of like language, but we still have different language.
So we have ear and eye. So we have access to their ear and their eye. Right? What about the heart?
It's the tricky bit. You gotta start with the mind, the leads, the heart.
Oh, Normo.
We don't have.
Oh, Norma, you got the question backwards. I think it always has to originate with you, and there's no other way to really do it.
That's fine. Set an example. Model the good behavior.
That works. But it's still slow.
That's called parenting. I agree.
It's still gonna be slow.
Of course, I'm not arguing that it's fast. I'm arguing that we don't have the ability to change the other's heart without their willingness.
Well, the question was, Dave was asking, like, what would be a realistic strategy to solve the Israel-Palestine crisis? And I said, like, legitimately, like, I mostly agree with Kahana that, like, a good, clean separation with a few generations to develop separate ways of looking at things is better than just, like...
I get it. That's like denazification.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what we got so far.
Well, slow down. What Dave objected to was that I said it would take a few generations. He didn't want that. And I got really angry that it just feels like every single person that wants to see a miraculous... No. It feels like every person that wants to see a miraculous peace in their lifetime, because they're afraid of the fact that they'll die before it
forever, depending on how many thousands of years. So we're used to the fact that it might not happen in our lifetime. There's a Torah thing, I believe, that says we don't plant a tree for you and me. We plant a tree for the people coming after us that we'll never even see when the tree reaches its fruition. So we need to plant the trees. Yeah?
Alright, so what do you see to this peaceful forest?
The Torah. It's wisdom. That's the answer.
Now I agree with you, as we've always been doing. If we agree that the seeds are righteous living, Torah living, doing what God asks us to do, that's all we can do. Now, the slight hitch in this, the fly in the ointment, is that God is asking us to rise up and kill these people, and they don't like it. And that's what gets us into the dilemma now. Somebody is not telling them that if they stop killing us, we'd be happy to stop killing them. We have no interest in it. No, somebody is giving them the bad info. So maybe what you're saying makes sense is to give them the good info.
The opposition doesn't want physics to even exist. They don't believe in opposite and equal reactions, and they never discuss law or justice. This is political polarization, and that's all they are.
Well, it's not all that they are. It's like they're still modern people. But yes, we are fighting a style of organization which is not based on literacy. It's based on propaganda. It's based on speech between different people. Like they're sharing stories, and like whenever it's published, they disbelieve it. They focus on the motives of everything. Like everything is a conspiracy.
How about it's based on Amaric spirit?
It's not
based on Amaric spirit?
It's not an organization of humans that is stable when you have only oral law or oral custom maintaining the cohesion. Even Asia, right? They controlled the language, Mandarin, and then they had the minds, they had the hearts, and then nations are forever different from the rest that don't understand that style of language. And the same thing here. They're not making use of the technology of the written word binding us to what we say. The West is fine with that. They hold to it in court, they'll whine about it, but they'll go to the courts and they'll submit to whatever the heck the paper says. But not here. This isn't about paper, this is about words.
Well, I think it's ridiculous to think that cell phones and the algorithm and your news feed is the word. It's really like an advanced form of mind control and propaganda distribution.
So I want to share the hypothesis how the 13th of July attack on Druze happened. Okay, so according to my hypothesis, 7th of July, Bibi at White House told the reporter, when the reporter asked him what's going to happen in Gaza, and he told them, I don't care. So that means this is the beginning or the end of Gaza, and therefore enemy of Israel have to spin another way to continue the pressure on Israel without going through Gaza, because Gaza is done, it's useless, okay? And they have to figure out a new front, and that new front is Syria, right? So what they have done is to get legacy media in the West to spin a story. There will be no Abraham Accord involving Syria unless Israel return Golan Heights, okay? And that was on the 9th of July, 2 days later. And then on 13th, and I could imagine many of these jihadists went to all these mindless soldiers and tell them, look, the West already agreed. We need to take Golan Heights. And in order to do that, we have to first attack the Druze. And they say, yeah, we get to kill again. And so on 13th of July, that killing started. So that's my hypothesis. Syria is the key.
You know, Dave, do you know how many chess pieces there are on a chess table?
Well, I mean, in 2024, they came up with this concept called multi-front war. And you have to ask what is the multi-front war for US and Europe? That is more interesting question. The Israel already figured out, but the European and US haven't figured out.
It's just like your opinion that they haven't figured it out.
Well, at the clubhouse, you could hear critical thinking forum, you could tell, right? You get an indication where are the multi-front war internally within US. I mean, but Europe is pretty much lost. You have no way to track.
I think they just want this is a Dave is a good debate. He's organized. He's a smart guy.
No, I understand. I'm still playing devil's advocate.
Until the microphone is okay, I think you say something important.
I agree with you on that, but I'm still just playing devil's advocate.
Okay. Tell him what I said.
He said that you're a good guy and that you're an ally, not an enemy.
And trustworthy. I added that.
Can I inject a new question?
Yes, please.
Of course. Well, hi, Pat. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks. 2 days ago on the Critical Thinking Forum, before the room started, Alan and Gary were talking about some major events that happened or were happening in Iran. And I could not find anything online looking at U.S. sources. Is something new going on in Iran? I know this is different from your discussion on Syria, but is there something new and breaking in Iran that is not headline news in the United States right now?
Let me give you my back channel info. Take it for what you will, because mainstream media is only a small piece of the puzzle anymore. That is that we have continued the war by other means, meaning covert and using Israeli operatives and the many disgruntled ethnic groups of Iran who despise this regime, this oppressive regime. So there have been numerous mysterious explosions, and then Mossad using their Twitter feed, which you can take a look at, and will say, what's going on with all of these explosions? Very mysterious. Somebody should look into this. And Mossad is first doing operations and then trolling the IRGC after doing so. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. War by other means. The covert war is alive and well. Mossad is stirring the pot. So things are happening, and the outcome is yet to be determined. Is there any further information about the damage done to the nuclear facilities? Further clarification? Has anybody figured out where the 400 plus kilograms of 60% enriched uranium might still be, or was it buried with the strikes, etc.?
And I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to dominate or anything, though that is my personality type, and it may be a flaw or maybe an asset or maybe both. So the short answer is we don't know. The long answer, I don't know if it matters. The worst case scenario is a dirty bomb. If they had control of that stuff, we don't know that they do. The main point, I think, is to show the enemy that we can hit them at will, and will continue to do so, to show that we have tremendous intelligence on their assets, nuclear and otherwise, and that we are continuing to hit those assets. And I think, as you've seen, the enemy, for example, the Ayatollah, is terrified of us and was underground for 21 days before surfacing to make some symbolic appeal and then disappeared again. So they are afraid that we will take them out. However, big problem is the Iraq problem. Easy to break something, but hard to, as our great Colin Powell once said, once we break it, we own it. It's easy to break it, but difficult to know what will be the day after. Being in charge there. Iran is really an empire of various ethnic groups dominated by the Iranian genocide regime. So if it comes down, Kurds want independence, Baluchis want independence. There are many Arabs in Iran. They are oppressed. So without the oppressive regime, the thing goes into a million pieces. Well, anyway, fragmented to a dozen pieces. And we don't know how that could be worse. That could leave us with the Iraq problem. A big mess, and terror could move in, which could be even worse, perhaps. We think that, that answer. I'm telling you things that I think you also thought about. What do you think about these thoughts?
Well, first, I'm going to go technical, and I do have a considerable understanding and professional experience involving matters nuclear. And the last radioisotope that any terrorist or anybody with any sense that would want to use in a dirty bomb is uranium-235. It is not that highly radioactive. You've got to really get close to it, and you've got to get ingested for it to have any significant effect. It has a fairly low energy gamma ray, etc. So using 60% enriched uranium as a dirty bomb, that is a bomb that explodes with conventional explosives but scatters radioactive material all around. That's not that's not a significant threat in my view. It's a psychological threat, but it's not a devastating effect that would put Times Square out of commission for the next 25 years or something like that. You want to use much more highly radioactive material, and one of the best ones would be cobalt-60. If you couldn't get that out of a hospital, then iodine-135. Those are the kinds of things that make dirty bombs a real radioactive mess. But as far as the continuation of the war, the way you described it, Norm, that makes all the sense in the world to me. And though the Ayatollah and the regime, as far as we know, is still standing, it's certainly weakened. And how much longer it's going to take before something happens in Iran, very similar to what just happened in Syria, where the rebels, quote, whatever they are, overwhelmed the government. I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen at some point, but it's anybody's guess as when it will. And if that does happen, then all the various factions are going to be trying to scramble to become a new government. And I think we'll be looking at political turmoil and uncertainty in Iran, say for the next 10, even 20 years, just like we're going to see the same turmoil we're seeing right now, and I think will continue for the indefinite future in Syria. That's my take on the current status of the non-Israel part of the Middle East. And the third player in there that I'm not real sure about is Iraq and how stable the current government is in Iraq, and is it in anybody's interest to further shake that current government up.
Yeah, Anson, I mean, you described a very precarious future and an unpleasant future, but that's the reality now. It's totally tentative and it's not desirable. Welcome to reality.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, after all, we're all guessing.
The question is any chance the situation in Syria is like in Gaza 2005, 2006, right? Someone in Gaza.
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So it's a mirror image, right? So 2005, 2006, someone tried to promise to the West, we are going to come up with a working government. And that means the people there only interested in killing Jews. If you want to, become a good role model like the West, they're not interested. They want to kill Jews, right? So this is what happened on the 13th of July, and somebody come up with the idea that using Golden Height as a trigger point to get Jews hating jihadists to come close to the border of Israel by taking back Golden Height, and that is the motivation for them. So the government cannot do much. The Syrian government cannot do much. The moment they show they are useless, then they will be overthrown and replaced with something more aggressive.
Listen, part of the problem is also bad actors in the West. I don't trust Macron. I don't trust the British. Who do you trust as an American?
You are correct. These two are strange.
I'll tell you what, on these matters, Trump has proved very trustworthy. I never thought I would say such a thing, but he has. Maybe almost getting shot in the head has changed him. And he feels the presence of God. And I think Bibi is trustworthy too, frankly. It's shocking to say these things, but these guys are doing perhaps what should have been done all along. And maybe this is the time that we were meant to do it with all the intelligence and military capability that we have.
So Trump has a good sense to recognize these two are not trustworthy, because in April, during the funeral of Pope Francis, and the European leader tried to organize 3 seats to 1 seat from Trump. That means Macron and UK Prime Minister and Zelensky will sit next to Trump to have an impromptu discussion. But the Trump waved to the people saying, no, take up the 2 seats. I only want to speak to Zelensky. He doesn't want to speak to the other 2 guys you mentioned. So that showed Trump know the summit, the G7, right? You can see the relationship between Trump and Macron is not very good.
Well, I share your praise for the decisiveness, at least in the Middle East, that Trump has shown. I mean, after all, we've had 4 presidents that have tried to draw red lines and say don't, and they do, and we don't do anything about it. Trump is showing, I consider it to be effective and wise geopolitical leadership in the way he's dealing with the Middle East right now, and I give him a lot of praise for that. But I am concerned that for that approach in the Middle East to stick and remain firm for the indefinite future. I mean, we all 3 agree that Syria and Iran are in the midst of great instability, and it's going to take strong leadership from the United States to be able to hold fast to what we've been doing over the last 6 months in the Middle East, and before that, the Abraham Accords. And of course, we haven't even talked about Saudi Arabia and influence they're going to have with all the, and Jordan for that matter, with all the potential and current reality of instability in the Middle East. And so if you throw in, I can't imagine what if the progressives, and they will come back, the progressives will regain some control of the U.S. government in the coming, if not, sometime 4 years, 3.5 years from now. Are we going to be able to sustain the kind of leadership in the Middle East that Trump has been showing? I don't think we will. I think we're going to go back to the uncertainty and the waffling that we've had before, which is just going to fuel more uncertainty in the Middle East. In other words, if I was an Israeli in Israel, I don't know, I would still be questioning the
Shara, the president of Syria, about 6 months to live. That guy has to be shitting in a brick every day. There's no way that guy survives long term.
That I don't know enough to agree or disagree, but that certainly, there's going to be infighting in Syria for a long time, from what I can tell.
I'm just saying, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. I'm saying, if he lives by the sword, he's going to die by the sword. And if you're killing innocent Druze and snipping their beards, his public relations campaign to win over the Syrian people in the international community is not going to work. He's fucked.
And so what's going to replace it?
So I just want to support what supplement what Anson said. The last 4 presidents failed to do what Trump is doing. In fact, the whole legacy media in the West and all the claim Middle East expert, they are totally inadequate, right? So basically, the problem the West have with the Middle East, there is no adequate Middle East expert for the legacy media, for the consulting the president and the Western leader, and that is the problem because they don't understand all Middle East experts are biased. As biased since 1,400 years, and that is the problem. And Trump is different in the sense because I think he has Mike Huckabee because he spent a lot of years in Middle East and Israel, and he has a very different understanding of the situation in Middle East. And I think this is what missing in the previous president. I do not trust any Middle East experts advising the president in the previous years. And that's why we have all this problem for Iran. Indecisiveness, giving money to build, to support the nuclear program rather than taking up all the resources to prevent the further development of the nuclear weapon.
I can only comment jokingly, Dave, that if you give that kind of credit to Mike Huckabee in the Critical Thinking Forum, there's got 80% of the people in that room are going to come down on your head like a ton of bricks. They can't stand Huckabee because he's such an evangelical.
That was such a ridiculous conversation that we had. Oh my gosh, Huckabee is a Dominionist. He wants a theological state. It's nonsense.
That's what we heard in the Critical Thinking Forum, right?
Yes, because as much as we would wish otherwise, it is a it is a slightly left Democratic establishment talk show for folks on the East Coast.
That's a dirty bomb. That is.
And it is left of center, certainly. I understand that our host endeavors to not be partisan. However, I do think he has an undoubtable bias. And so you end up getting a lot of that Trump's the problem with everything, and you can't really have a discussion about governance, like what we ought to do.
That's what you do, Marshall. You're projecting.
I mean, maybe I've been certainly anything else, but certainly I could be projecting. I could be projecting my thoughts of how that should go to the way that it is. Maybe that's not fair, but I'm not, to be frank, I'm not sure else how to look at the situation.
I can give you a better, even a more concrete example of what you're alluding to, Marshall. At least 4 or 5 times in recent rooms in the Critical Thinking Forum, there's been extensive discussion as to whether or not Trump has the cognitive skills remaining to be able to finish his term. Is Trump delusional? Does he need a psychiatric exam? Is he a psychotic? Should we have hearings in Congress about the cognitive ability of Trump while we're having the same hearings about what happened with Biden? That's been a consistent topic of conversation.
Well, Anson,
Critical Thinking Forum, which drives me crazy.
You've proven that it's not a critical thinking forum. It's the Gary Baumgarten show, so just label it correctly. And those same talking liberal, points that they bring up all the time about cognitive decline, that's been going on for the past 10 years. And these people, that's all they got. That's all they have to hang on to. It's just a waste of time.
I will tell you, I don't find that room a waste of time, but there are conversations in that room I find a waste of time. How everything is boiled down to Donald Trump just drives me insane. Trump is not the end all and be all.
You should go to Ben Mendelsohn's room and enjoy the Deep State Patriots, where you can listen to Ben Mendelsohn have an emotional meltdown about Donald Trump every single day.
One of the only Republicans that Ben lets on stage. And he lets me on stage because he thinks I don't like Trump, which I don't really like Trump very much. So he's right about that.
Why don't you like your president? Do you not enjoy America? Are you not part of the team? Do you not support your leaders? This is what I don't understand. Are people not on the same team?
I think there are 2 different questions there. One is, do I support the commander-in-chief in trying to do good things for our nation? The answer to that is an unquestionable yes. I support the commander-in-chief. He can do good things. You look at the strike on Iran, it was very impressive, right? But I am not happy how he exacerbates, as Anson says, the Great Divide. And I think he is an exacerbating influence to that in a way that is simply unhealthy. We need people to think more critically. We need them to think about governance. And we can't, we're always stuck in the, well, you're a Republican, so it's your fault, or you're a Democrat, so it's your fault. Right? Very rarely in those conversations do we get to actual governance. Which, I mean, look, I understand part of the reason you troll so much is because it's super political and people aren't real. But when you're real, you can do a really decent job, bro. So, anyway, I've been in Mendelssohn's room. They were talking about living in a dictatorship today. I'm like, we don't live in a dictatorship, but it is. And no offense to folks of your wisdom-giving age, but it's a bunch of 50-something and 60-somethings who get together in a room and scare the living shit out of each other every day. Pardon the French. They need something to be scared of. They need something to grasp onto. That oftentimes is what it boils down to, unfortunately. I like all the people, and they're really nice, and they're very nice to me. But Dan has been very clear about his room. It's an echo chamber.
I just want to say that Gary's room is not just serving American, but serving some people from Europe. We have no such clubhouse where the American meet on a daily basis, and they should be a clubhouse like that for European. But Gary room every day, Monday to Friday, is a good option. I'm keep on bringing.
Oh, don't take what I said at all to that would be one of the corrections I would make if he would listen to it. Like I said, I have the same problem being on the right-hand side of the aisle. I'm more likely to look at right-hand issues and give them the time of day versus left-hand issues, in which, just like everybody else, I could have a political reaction to it. I'm not. I don't read that, despite the fact that if I read it, it would be really good for me, kind of thing.
So I want to say, first of all, they like Marshall because Marshall is a really good guy. He's not a partisan. He's a Republican, but he has critical thinking. The room, when you're saying maybe this is a boomer problem or something, I don't dispute that. Trump is.
No, I don't necessarily think it's a boomer problem. I just think it's folks.
Hang on, Marshall. Wait a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Trump is a villain. Trump has a bad personality.
He's not
honest. He doesn't pay his bills. I know this from my friends in New York. Obviously, he's a serial, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not a faithful guy. I mean, that's not a qualifier. Most politicians aren't honest or faithful. And he's dangerous because he's a little bit wacky. He does impetuous things. Now, these crazy impetuous things he does, they seem to work. And it's shocking. But in the Republican form, they cannot believe that this whack job, this carnival barker, this television reality star, somehow, he's Coca-Cola. And by the way, shout out to his Coca-Cola decision today. Who does that? Maybe you heard about the Coca-Cola.
Oh, Norm, I love that.
Well, so does my son, but it's crazy. He's doing crazy things. I think
he's going to bring back the sugar industry in America. That's a good thing.
Good, again, necessary and good job. But I think, I don't slam Gary. I think Gary is a really good guy. It's just he is overwhelmed by this new paradigm. And we're all in uncharted territory. And I still believe that. By the way, I support the president. I support what he's doing. I think most of it is really necessary and good. However, I still think you could flip a coin, and he's either going to solve a problem in a really creative, outside-the-box way, or he could get us into a very bad situation. I don't even want to say World War III, but that's what everybody's worried about.
How can you say it's not even? It already is World War III since 9/11. This is 24 years of perpetual, never-ending war. That sounds pretty much to me like World War III in a way.
Okay, it's like a Cold War. It's a cold, hot war.
No, we're being worse than here. It sounds like the 30 years war between France and Britain.
Oh, interesting. What an interesting point. I mean, I spend a lot of time in both countries, and it's funny because you can just take the tunnel now and get over from one to the other in a few hours, and people they're not riding into battle on horses anymore and stabbing each other. It would be possible to get over this if they wanted to. So I probably need to have my paradigm updated because the old paradigm says we're just waiting for the Muslim world to get the way the Christian world did and stop trying to convert people by the sword and letting people be who they are. Stop trying to conquer them. I don't know if that's still the model that we're in, or if we're in some other darker, more apocalyptic model. You guys, that's the old way of looking at it. We're just waiting for their reformation so that they can, like Saudi, UAE, etc. They want to have they want to have vaguely constitutional monarchies. Right? So the same way that Britain does. That's their model. They want to stay in power, and they want to keep their people mollified, we say.
Well, Saudi Arabia is filling the vacuum in Syria, and not a lot of people are happy with the new vacuum there because they are Islamist terrorists. And so how do we in the West rationalize backing Saudi Arabia while simultaneously, secretly providing funding to fight them in Syria?
I thought we were fighting Turkey and Syria, not Chad.
Come on. You don't think Saudi's involved in a lot of things in that specific region? Of course they wanted Bashar Assad to go. It's Alawites versus these, Sunni Shia. I mean, it's an insane world where there's we're supporting three parties at the same time. America and the West is schizophrenic in its support and aggression.
Wait, but we're off topic. I know we're fighting Turks, but I thought we were on the same page.
Just because Trump said, Trump's claims that the Turks were the ones that primarily support it's the Saudis too. Absolutely.
No, it's Turkey.
I know, turkey, that's what we eat on Thanksgiving, but to think that the Saudis aren't also involved in all of this is fucking ludicrous.
This is why the Middle East is complex, and it takes a lot of effort to really, have a clear understanding. And thank goodness, I trust my country to understand what's going on in Turkey, in the Middle East. Definitely, from his point of view, Saudi is not involved in Syria.
Yeah, right. Just like they weren't involved in 9/11.
This is one of the best conversations I've heard on Clubhouse in a long, long time. Because, well, it's balanced. I mean, I share, you gave a better description of Trump than I've been able to conjure up myself, Norm, that he scares the shit out of me, quite frankly. And I hate his narcissism. And but then again, he's calling some of these things right. And I just go back, Congress, whatever your name is, I haven't interacted with you, I don't think, before, but I have been saying, and I'm pretty old, so I remember some history, but I believe that we have been in a mess geopolitically ever since 9/11, and I keep thinking that Osama is rolling over in his watery grave smiling because he injected far more uncertainty in how the United States will be able to handle power, and that has been eroding our ability to exert power. That has been eroding dramatically ever since 9/11, in my view, and it goes across Republican and Democrat. I mean, in other words, I see our geopolitical strength and ability to do the next right thing on a strong downward slope ever since 9/11. And it was capped off, in my view, by the absolute disgrace that the United States had to endure with the way we handled the exit from Afghanistan.
Anthony, you want to know something particularly egregious? The State Department liaison and the DoD liaison were having a conversation one day when we were getting ready to pull out. We had something like 50 Apache helicopters, the Apaches. Yeah, you know what? We took it all off. They're just sitting there, says the Defense Department liaison, and the State Department liaison says, okay, we're going to leave these 50 helicopters. The DoD liaison asks, why are you going to leave 50 perfectly good helicopters? Essentially. And the State Department liaison, his literal answer was, because Afghans are too stupid to figure out how to fly helicopters. No joke, that was what he actually said. And not a month later, was there a raid in Kabul where they had an Apache on a float, and they managed to have 2 Apaches on each side flying in the air. Because they were like, they may have had 50 of those things, which allowed them to crash a couple to learn to fly them. But literally, the argument under the Biden administration was these people are too stupid to figure out how to do it.
We get it. We should have torched and burned every piece of equipment we had before we withdrew from that piece of shit country. Anson, the withdrawal was never going to be pretty because the incursion wasn't really based on authentic information. I got to tell you, like, we're living in a very deceptive state of affairs. And it's not two-faced or three-faced. It's fucking five-faced, 10-faced. That's the reality of the situation in America today. The fake news, if Donald Trump enlightened us to one thing, it's that the news is essentially irrelevant. It's all propaganda, in my opinion.
Well, anyway, the world, Americans are having exceptional difficulty dealing with the complexity of the world is very complex today. And look at China, look at Russia, look at Ukraine, look at the Middle East, look at America's inability to stand tall and get the next right thing done geopolitically. And I don't have any idea how to fix it. But I wonder, well, I'm frustrated, but some of the things that Trump has done are remarkably good, in my opinion, and he ought to get credit for it. And figure out a way to tamp down, which I don't think we can do. I mean, nobody's going to change Trump's personality in the next 3.5 years. We're still going to have this internal divide in the United States that is just going to be destructive as hell and continue to be destructive. We're tearing ourselves apart. And again, I don't know how to fix that. But it sure is enlightening to have a conversation where we can actually talk to each other in this room. And whoever started this room, if you're going to have more of them, ping me in. I'd like to be able to participate. And I'm sorry for talking too much.
Could I ask the
moderator is from UK. He's from UK.
Okay, could I ask the moderator to reset the room? And is the room discussing the situation in Syria? Because I have some questions if it is.
Respectfully. Yes, you can do.
Okay, so I believe that the Muslims in Syria will genocide all the Druze unless there's a protectorate. So my humble suggestion is that Trump agree with Netanyahu to not have them set up their own nation. That would be provocative. But to have a safe zone where Trump draws a line on the map and says, the Druze are being genocided, the U.S. will allow Israel to enforce a safe zone. And there's precedent for this. And I'm going to be succinct here. When the Serbs were genociding Bosnians, I think the U.S. rescued the Bosnians. If it wasn't for the U.S. setting up a safe zone, all the Bosnians would have been killed in a genocide. And the U.S. should be proud of rescuing the Bosnians from genocide. Why the fuck can't Netanyahu and Trump team up today to save the Druze from being exterminated by Muslims? I'm done speaking.
They can't, man. Listen, Omar, can I answer you? No, you're saying that the Syrian is gonna commit. What you say again?
Well, they're already committing
Genocide, right? Yeah. And the word genocide has been used in Gaza, right? So what I think about the Druze that live in Syria, go back to your home country if you think that Israel is your home country, where you can feel safe. Don't be another place and act like, oh yeah, you got like.
I got like 10 more seconds to listen to you for.
I think that all the Arabs should go back to Arabia.
Yeah. Yes. Arabs should go back to Arabia. This is our home place.
Maybe we can carve off Syria.
Then if you're going to say that all the Arabs go back, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the Palestinians and the Lebanese are native people. We all know that historically and genetically.
Take back your fucking.
Palestinian people, literally. Okay, let me post the links here. Hold on. Genetic studies. Let's see what the genetic studies say.
Welcome back to the super low IQ hypnosis hour, where non-native English speakers will not denounce violence, murder, or genocide. Instead, they introduce their propaganda and bullshit because they love to waste their time and your time.
There's a difference between genocide in Gaza and Syria. Okay, in Syria, it's Sunni killing Alawite, which is Shia, and then Sunni killing Druze, and all this genocide has no interest to the Western media. The only genocide that's of interest to the Western media is when Jewish killing Muslim. That's the only thing that interested. Any other massacre, nobody interested. Okay, that's why I agree with Homer.
Even Muslims losing Christians right now. The world does not care.
Yeah, also the Western media not interested in Muslim killing Christian. Muslim killing Christian, Muslim killing Shia.
Kill Christian, first of all. You stupid fuck. You should look up where you
Shut up,
information.
Shut up, you fucking renegade.
Shut up with you fucking green fucking ass.
You have nothing because you're low IQ, because your whole population is low IQ.
Yeah, because he said that Muslims is Christian, but Christians live together with Muslims.
Blow yourself up, you fucking cockroach.
Yeah, you look like a piece of shit. What the fuck? You think you're Superman with that shit you got on?
Yeah, retard.
So I want to.
So wait for the question. I have a question.
Wait. I don't want to. Hang on a minute. I don't want
let you
to go to hell. It's okay. And I want to respond to.
I'll dismiss this. Never mind.
Victor Davis Hanson called Trump an American agent, meaning like George Patton, he's a villainous guy because he's doing things that we need a villain to do. That's all I wanted to tell you. In terms of trying to understand this guy and why, despite the fact that he has such a bad character, he's acting in a way I think that is beneficial to the United States and to Israel and to the world. I just wanted to leave that. I'm sorry, Enigma, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask anybody who is Muslim who thinks it's okay to eradicate the whole of Israel from the river to the sea, how that is a peaceful religion. Why would that be peaceful?
Because they've got to go back to their home country, because they took that country from the people there. It was colonialism, and it is structural white racism, and they are not even from Israel. They are from Poland and from Russia.
Okay, let me ask again. Why do the people who follow
Islam is not peaceful religion, first of all. Islam is about killing people like stupid people like you. This is what Islam is about.
Okay, well, thank you for advertising.
See you in the street, brother. So shut the fuck up with the
Alright,
with
that's why the Palestinians are being slaughtered. Religion. You guys are incapable of having a peaceful diplomacy. You're incapable of having a peaceful relationship with your neighbors. So that's why the Palestinians are suffering right now. So you guys cry about how it's a genocide, and you cry about how you're victims, and you've got American teenagers really under the impression that Palestinians just want peace and freedom and justice. But we know the truth. We know that you guys are members of the terrorist death cult. And all you want to do is kill anybody who's not a Muslim, and you want to rape your wives,
Rape
your
women,
little
yes.
boys, and have sex
Listen,
with
I want to
them.
tell you a story.
Blow yourself up.
Rape your wife.
Hold up. Let me tell you a story that comes from a fucking Jewish kid that's been husband.
I heard that some people so I have a certain standard. Let's keep up to our standard of Islamic and no cursing, no personal attack. Yeah.
Okay, so that's question. So all the people that are screaming for Jews to go back to Poland, who was the guy that said that? Is he on stage?
Yes, that was me. They are all from Poland and Russia. They are not real Jews. They are colonialists and structural white racists.
Where was Jesus born?
That's probably wrong.
He was born in Poland, in Krakow. Jesus.
No.
Did you guys move that guy down? It's funny that they all say that in Poland.
I really like Poland
For some reason.
I've got to be honest, anybody who's advocating for, wiping out people and saying, that they're pro killing a whole nation that just wants to be peaceful, and is very, very diverse, shouldn't really be given a platform to say anything, I don't think.
From the river to the sea, my people will be free.
Between the religion of the leadership and the average person.
No.
Okay, well, let me finish. Because in my mind, okay, the average Israeli, Jewish Israeli, who's got a man, who's got his family, and the average Palestinian with the same position, a man, wife, family, don't they both want peace, security, and
No.
a bit? Well, let me finish. I can see you disagreeing with me, but I'm putting it out there because otherwise everybody's politicized by the extremists who steal the agenda. In my mind, okay, on both sides, by the way. Yeah.
So Simon, let me ask you a question.
Please.
Okay, so have you ever been to Israel?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever been to any Arabic or Islamic state country in the Middle East?
Yes.
Okay, where have you been?
I've been to Jordan.
Yeah.
I've been to.
Which is not as extremist as most of them. I'll grant that. Okay.
No, I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah. Where else?
I've been to Egypt.
Yeah, not as extreme, but still extreme. Yeah, go on.
And it's a holiday scenario, so.
Yeah, so it's like a commercialized area that. Yeah.
Everybody's been. So I've been to Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
Listen, Simon, no one cares where you've been, and people don't dispute the fact that regular families want peace, but governments and families can't tolerate terrorism, Simon.
Okay, Congress, let me get somewhere, because what happens is people start shouting and then people get defensive and then it roots them further in their delusion of how they've been pressed. If you were to think of Israel, who lives in the state of Israel, the sovereign state of Israel? Who lives there?
Well,
right now?
And I'm happy to be wrong, but I'm going to go with you because I think it's beneficial that if I know that. Yeah. So in my mind, both the Jewish and the Palestinians, they both live there.
Okay, so there's the people who would have called themselves Palestinians now call them the integration of many different things, many different cultures, different backgrounds, and they live there peacefully, okay? Now, what has happened to the extremist part of Islam that wants the whole country to be led under an Islamic rule? Now, I'm not saying, that Islamists are wrong, but for me...
You don't think Islamists are wrong when they cut off people's heads and rape and murder and enslave? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Why can't you make sense? Okay, because in the West, when Muslims are integrated to understand, to not be like that.
Oh, you think they go under some type of re-education program before they're brought to the West again? This is not the Enigma show, and everything you keep saying is ridiculous.
Congress, that's really great that you can't do a British accent, even though you try. That's fine, but let me know my plane, and then you can rebut what you want. Now, is Israel very tolerant, okay? Now, in the Gaza Strip, under Hamas, it's not like that. You can't go into the Gaza Strip unless you are a Muslim. You can't go there on holiday. You're not able to freely pass. You're not able to interact with people. And if you are not Muslim, you have to pretend like you are. Anyway, that's by the by. Israel was set up so that everyone could live in peace. Now, there was a two-state solution on the table, but the extremists didn't want to take it. And the people who considered themselves Palestinian, who now consider themselves to be Israeli Arabs, welcomes the idea of Israel as being a sovereign state. So when I hear free Palestine, when I hear from the river to the sea, the majority of Palestinian people, in quotation marks because Palestine doesn't exist, want Israel. The people who are being...
All right, let's do a room refresher. Put a 1 in the chat if you support Israel. Put a 2 in the chat if you support the destruction of Israel.
We have European and American here. So, and Nima is trying to help another European to understand the problem in Gaza.
I got moved down.
So, yeah, the approach may be very different from American way.
Yeah, I got moved down because somebody made El Normo. So yeah.
Well, there's only one mod in the room.
No, I did not move you down, and I didn't know I was mod. I'm not mod.
There's only one more. There's only one more.
The stage for new voices, please. You moved yourself down. Don't be proud. I'm the only one. Let's see Mr. Nick will finish first, please.
Okay. So, if you was to say what happened on October the 7th, right, was justified by an oppression of a people, it's a lie. A complete and utter lie. These people chose to leave Israel. They chose it. They chose to be extremists. They chose to be combative. They chose this.
They chose to leave Israel in the middle of people forcing them out.
Yes, they did.
Their choices were get murdered or leave. I'm sure that's not much of a choice.
No, that's not the truth, because why then are all the Palestinian people who now call themselves Israeli Arabs that live in Israel, worshipping in their mosques and living their lives and marrying whoever they want? It doesn't have to be a Muslim family, and why then were they not threatened with murder? If this is such a genocide, why would even allow any Muslims to live in Israel?
I just want to try Simon. Basically, Simon asked the question, aren't Palestine human as well? Because they have wife and children. Jewish people in Israel has wife and children. Why aren't both equal? Simon, the difference is the Palestine Arab in Gaza, when they are children, they are being brainwashed to kill Jews. Whereas Jews in Israel, they have no brainwash. So when you ask, aren't they both human? The answer is no. The people in Gaza are not human. That's all.
Could I ask
They are human.
I would like to know why these Europeans are talking about the brave Israeli Holocaust of a scholar, Omar Martin, who wrote the great article on the Daily News and the New York Times speaking about how Israel is committing genocide. An Israeli Israeli citizen. His family was survived the Holocaust. He's a Holocaust survivor. He's a scholar in Holocaust outcome. And he is saying, amongst others, that Israel is committing genocide. So why you don't have a problem with him? How can some...
It's not make something so. It's not make it so.
In the moderator room,
the idea for controlling that.
I 100% support
Homer.
proposal to talk about Druze.
Homer, they are. Did you see the strikes on the government offices in Damascus? I mean, they're taking action, but if you want a land incursion, that's a whole new set of games.
I'm asking humbly, I want the moderator to limit this room to only talking about the Druze and preventing Muslims from continuing to demand the genocide of Jews. I'm sick of hearing Muslims call for the mass extermination of Jews. It's boring. I want to talk about saving the Druze. The Druze.
Got it, Homer. We hear you.
Okay, share your thought, Homer.
The reason why the Muslims will interrupt the talking about Druze, because when we talk about Druze, we are one step forward to long-term Middle East peace plan, and therefore the Muslim will come at all costs to interrupt. Okay, if you talk about saving Druze,
You need that.
to stop this discussion, the positive discussion.
You need to have the person on the other side.
You also need. Yeah, you need to have right. There's two reasons why I would say don't limit the Muslims coming in. One, because you can educate the people who have been brainwashed into believing that Muslims are just peaceful people and they just want to live. I think it's
Enigma, did you not just hear what Homer said?
I'm talking.
We've already heard resistance a million times.
I'm talking, you little cunt. Alright? Now, fall back in the hole and wait for me to finish. Also, it's important to be able to educate people on what is actually happening, not what they've been told that is happening. And I too am very, very sick, Homer, of having to hear the anti-Semitic views of the population. And it's not just Muslims. We have radical leftists also jumping on the bandwagon, which really annoys me. I'm not saying all leftists at all, because I kind of lean to the left.
All right,
myself.
super moderator, when can we get back to the Druze instead of telling us how communication
I want the
works?
moderator to take control. I'm humbly asking for the moderator to take control of the room. I think we've heard the arguments. Let me finish, and I'll go shut up. We have heard so many leftists on Clubhouse call for the murder of Jews. And we've heard Muslims call for the murder of Jews. It's a boring, tiresome conversation. What I would like to have is a conversation.
Neither of the Muslim people in the past.
I would not like. Will you shut the fuck up, Marshall? I don't want to hear discussions about Jews anymore. I want to discuss how
You're missing my point. You're saying a bunch of these people in this room decided they were going to say that Jews need to be exterminated. In my 20 minutes in this room, I can't count one fucking person that said that to me.
All you gotta do is let resistance come back up to the room, and bring resistance back up, and you will have terrorism, death threats, low IQ, potential terrorist supporter, and definitely terrorism. I mean, bring resistance up if you want to hear the bullshit, and we can get educated.
Advertisement that we have against terrorism to prove what these people are doing. If we don't allow it to happen, we just pretend it's not happening.
Terrorism is not unique to an individual. Gangs can't use terrorism.
Well, let me just offer one suggestion on how we can help the Druze today, which is talking about the Druze. And that means looking at the actual grid coordinates on a map to figure out where to deploy the soldiers and make the necessary strikes to evacuate more Druze. Because Israel has already let in over 1,000 Druze fleeing terrorism. How can we, as a Clubhouse community, save more Druze today, right now?
Yes, the solution is drop and immediately like south of Damascus. That will solve the problem. No evacuation of troops. No evacuation of troops from Suez. No.
What universe have we created U.S. troops in action?
No U.S. troop on board. Trump and Bibi just say we draw the line. The rest is taken care by IDF. No
Come on.
U.S. troop.
Okay.
Okay.
You realize that's not how that shit works, right? You do
Well, this is why we discussed, Marshall. No U.S. troop commitment. Only Trump say, Bibi, just tell me where is the line. Bibi said, this is the line, and that's it. And the rest IDF take care. That's it.
Not in America's national security interest to have BB drones.
That's what we discussed, Marshall. We discussed whether it makes sense or not, Marshall. That's why we discussed this for me is because that first there should be no evacuation of Druze from Sweden. Period. No evacuation. And we need to talk
why
about
is that?
Why should Druze be evacuated from Sweden? Why?
Why should you not evacuate those people?
Well, just like Alamite. Like Alamite was too late, right? Marshall, I think a couple of months back, we have people from Alamite came to Clubhouse begging people like you, please tell Trump and rescue us.
Yeah, where's your courage? Where's your courage, Marshall? Grab your balls. You can't even support saving innocent people from being murdered, Marshall? You weakling, you incompetent, courageousless fool. And you call yourself a Republican? I know, that's why I resist you, because I think you got no courage. You don't want to support anything. You want to just deflect and cry like a little baby. Tell us about your little brother, Marshall. Save the Druze now. Come on, everybody. Let's chant it over Marshall's crying fecklessness. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now. Say it out loud, everybody. Save the Druze now.
You see, the problem of Middle East, many Westerners really have zero understanding, and then they go to the street and chant free Palestine from river to the sea, right? There's a very complex.
100%.
So this is the big problem. They're very lazy. They just say, well, it seemed like a nice thing to do. Chant, river to the sea, right? It's a nice thing to do every weekend. I can go and walk around. It's a good exercise without knowing that whatever they're doing is basically committing a very bad thing in history.
Are you talking about myself?
Yes, you are a typical example. You ask questions who are Druze and all this thing without doing a lot of homework.
Back to ask and find out, but just pretend.
Somebody asking what a group is?
I would love to chat with Simon. Simon, I'm going to add you, Simon, and maybe we can have a conversation away from whiny people later on, maybe.
Listen, if you don't believe in justice, courage, and fighting evil Islamist terrorists who are killing countless thousands of Druze, you are a spineless weakling. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now. Say it with me out loud, you spineless little reptiles. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now.
That's you. Resistance is animal. Never let him come out.
No, but Dave, he's the best advertisement we have against mental illness.
Enigma, we've heard him speak 100 times. He's a hate speech creator and a terrorist. We don't need to hear his bullshit here, Enigma.
Well, the moment that you don't understand your enemy is the moment that you've lost the war, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we've spoken with him 100 times. There's no coming to terms with terrorists. They must be obliterated and fought at every opportunity. You don't sit here and listen to your enemy propagandize you ad infinitum. You stop them in their tracks and you fight back. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now. Save the Druze now. That's how you say it, Enigma. Save the Druze now.
I feel sorry for his arm of growing
Congressman, he specializes in live recording without asking permission. In order to promote more emotion, to raise his rating. He has no interest in truth. He only wants to promote emotion to increase his rating. That is the job of congressman. Everybody here, please just look at his profile and then Congressman is a troll. He doesn't sit on these rooms. He's like 25 grams. He's an idiot.
You spineless reptiles! Save the Druze now is how you say it, and that's how you say it in English. You save the Druze now!
He's the worst animal in the clubhouse. He doesn't care about rating. He doesn't care about whatever the truth. He only wants to create rating. He's the worst animal. Dave, you're right, but don't give him any more attention. Just move on. Well, because he's recording live anyway.
Oh, get over yourself, Dave. Nobody's going to track you down, and nobody cares what you have to say anyways. You can't even say save the Druze now!
I find it funny when grown men act like a stupid imbecile, and, you know, think that...
Put a 1 in the chat if you're entertained. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to hear Enigma. Tell us how much more we should listen to terrorists. Put a 1 in the chat if you've enjoyed the conversation. Put a 2 in the chat if you have not enjoyed the conversation. We will do a data analytics survey to find out whether or not I am appreciated.
If I moderate, I kick him out because he's wasting our time. We have something far on. Yeah, moderator, can you help us out here? Congress? Yes.
I see I am no longer needed here. You ungrateful little ingrates.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, just always check. Somebody start pretending British accent, somebody like speaking like a monkey. Very likely is this guy. He used to have very predictable avatar profile. Now he switched completely to a righteous congressman, which is bullshit.
Well, how about this English accent? I'm going to get a drink of water and a bowl of soup.
Simon, try to join Anima. I think he has the patience to help you to catch up what's going on.
I would definitely want to chat with someone.
Helping one person one at a time. That is the way to help you pay.
A lot of people think that only Jewish people live in Israel, and there's only, you know, Palestinian Arabs. There's no Palestinian Arabs in Israel, and they're all in the West Bank. They've all been, you know, put there by gunpoint. You know that it's an open-air concentration camp. Sadly, that is 100% propaganda. Lifetime seeing people support terrorists it's just gross, absolute gross. Do I want anyone to die in a war? Absolutely not. I wish war didn't exist. I really did. But this notion that Israel has pushed everybody out of their homes and that they've put them at gunpoint, you know, is absolutely ridiculous. People that didn't want to share, and it was the minority, chose to remove themselves from Israel. This is why Gaza isn't a part of Israel. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Why can't we just live in peace? Why? Simon, do you have any questions or anything?
Simon, the metaphor is like if the Scottish children raised from young to kill the British people, right? That is the same metaphor between Gaza and Israel, right? Because the children in Gaza, right, a mother have 2 or 3 children and they bring another 2 mothers, they all together combined, they have 8 children, and every day they say, today the game is you are the Jewish, the rest are the Palestine, and now let's start the game. So they all take up weapon and chase after their kid. And then next day continue and continue. So they grow up, they have the instinct of killing Jews. And now the Macron the France is going to just pass the law. They will provide asylum to 2 million of Palestine in Gaza. That means there will be 2 million Palestine in France. Their instinct is the moment they see Jews, they kill. Because the Israel have been confining them in Gaza Strip. It's not a total confinement because they could still get anything they want from Rafah, in the border between Egypt. So again, this is another lie. There are many tunnels between Egypt and Gaza Strip. So whatever you can get the top car and whatever through that tunnel. So these 2 million Palestine brainwashed since 2005, when they come to France, there are 440,000 Jews. These 2 million will hunt down these 440,000 and kill them. This is going to happen.
It's so frustrating. So frustrating. So before October the 7th, people from Gaza were able to go to Israel. Did they have the same right to wander free? No, because obviously it's if you did that, then I'm sure that there would have been absolute terrorism. But on the flip side, somebody from Israel, an Israeli, can't just go into Gaza. They'll be killed immediately.
The wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruit.
On a daily basis, they left Gaza and entered Israel to work, and then returned back to Gaza at the end of.
Simon, just keep coming back. It might take months, but eventually you will find the complete information you need to understand the complexity in Middle East. And that is important, because what's going on in Middle East is going to happen in UK, because UK is being Islamized.
It's terrible at the moment, Dave. We have hundreds and thousands of people crossing the channel now to get to England.
So many people.
And they're all men. All men.
Because the UK people are now threatening civil war, and therefore you have 100,000 reinforcement coming from France to fight the British people. Do you understand what's called reinforcement?
Well, there's two reasons.
Can I just say, right? So I've listened to what you've said about the Middle East and respectfully gone, okay, well, you will know more than I do. Yeah. But then you are telling me about what's happening in my country. Yeah.
Basic.
What's going on in Rotterdam next week? Because my boyfriend's going there.
You got a boyfriend?
This guy made it really seems man. I think Ron and Goldie had some great points. God bless y'all. Cora,
Did they have some great points? What were they?
I appreciate you, brother.
What were they?
The great points were that atheism is trash. It has no logical actual.
There we go. You have nothing. You have nothing.
The dumbest black man on Clubhouse.
See, this is where I love Mitis. This is when Mitis is at his best.
Show me the statistics, please. Goldie, please post your statistics in the chat.
Y'all have no decorum. Decorum is for people who actually bring decorum.
Midas has no decorum.
Midas did not bring decorum. Goldie did not bring decorum. They can all suck the fuck off if
Goldie, I just want to talk with decorum. We can't. Goldie, what are your fucking statistics?
I proved 100% that God is
Goldie,
not.
what are your statistics? Post them in the chat.
Romero,
If you're capable of posting, if you're capable of going to a computer, copy your paste, do it.
All right, let's make it simple for you. Let's do it, folks. Can you prove 100% that God does not exist?
Can you prove any of Goldie's points?
Never actually got a challenge.
Do any of you like reading books, maybe? You know, like a book club and talking about things and passages and books, or just do you guys want to ask questions all day long because you got nothing better to do?
Just stop.
You ain't got no boyfriend, Cora, and he's not going to Europe. You're pathetic.
Yeah, James, if you're gonna do a guy from Peru that's about 5'8" named Mickey next week.
Hey, I'm gonna leave this room, man.
Bye, Ron.
Peace be to y'all.
Bye, Ron.
This room is like this.
Bye, Ron.
Tragic.
I'm sorry you got raped, Ron. Bye. I'm sorry you got raped.
Ron, you got an aneurysm? Did you get a blood clot in the brain?
Don't announce it. Just go. I'm sorry you
Did
got
it get annoying?
No.
I thought we could have a decent conversation.
I'm just trying to appeal to logical fallacies.
Goldie, are you going to post your statistics in the chat or no?
Romero.
So no. Okay, cool.
Respectfully, you don't know me. I don't know you.
Respectfully,
You
With respect.
Look at that. It's like
you
you're
brought up
Are
statistics.
you
So post
are
them.
you intimidated by me?
No, not at all. I think you're
All right,
fine.
Intimidating?
That's cool.
He's an insecure man. That's what he is. An insecure.
Giving that
Wow. Wow, these statistics are amazing.
Post the link in the
These
chat.
statistics are so cool. You didn't post any.
Cool. You can ask you a question.
I'm actually enjoying engaging with you right now, but I'm not gonna lie. This guy is just kind of killed the energy. So I'll speak to you another time.
Fucking, you have nothing, Goldie. Post your statistics. If you're gonna say statistics, post them. It's that simple.
Yeah,
But don't say let's talk about statistics and then start being like, oh, the trauma of religion, blah blah. Post it.
Yo, this is crazy.
First of all, I asked, how do you feel about statistics?
I think
That
they're
was the
great.
question.
I think they're great.
Great, cool. Then we could have moved on to the next question thereafter. But you somehow got triggered and you went down a whole different path away from the conversation I
Are you
originally
gonna
went
post your statistics or no?
And this is the issue, so I'm alright.
No, yeah.
Of course you're all right, because you have nothing. Great.
Awesome, cool.
All right, Goldie, thank you so much.
Let's be honest, the Christians are upset because they can't answer our questions. Ron, if you don't know something, just say I don't know. So you speak tongues, right? So does a small infant speak tongues as well? Are they talking to God?
Hey, James, brother, James, let's have a conversation, James. Me and you, just me and you. Yeah, let's build, bro. All right, hey, James. So James, why do you live, bro?
Because my father had sex with my mother, ergo, they were horny people. Next question.
So James, when you die, what happens?
I'll be dead.
What happens though? Are you unconscious? Like, is it just nothingness, brother?
I'll be dead. I'll see. Know what that is. I'll be dead.
James, would there be would it be how you were prior to you being born?
Right. What question is that?
Yeah, James.
Sure,
We
we're
can't
going.
walk, brother. We can't walk, brother. It's like you're scared to walk in the trap, brother. But I don't have a trap set,
Ron.
I don't have a trap set.
What the fuck? That's literally the only trick you have, right? You're like, oh, you must be afraid to talk to me. He's answering your questions, Ron.
James, come on. Hey, Romero, you're just an insecure little
No, Ron. No, you're the insecure little bitch who can't ask real
Hey,
questions.
James.
And then when you're confronted with the type of questions that you ask,
James.
Look at me.
Were you not
I am the
hurt
man.
Were you not hurt as a child, James? Oh my God, James. Not James.
you were raped as a child.
Ramiro, were you not hurt?
You fight Jesus.
Is this why you do what you do? I don't have to, bro.
I don't have to answer anything, bro.
James, even if I showed you, you wouldn't be able to see it, bro. Even if I showed you, you wouldn't be able to see it, James. What's the essential? Like, look what you're talking. Like, look how you're speaking, brother.
So you can't answer.
You want carnal things. You want carnal things. You just.
Yeah, I saw that article. They attacked that Gazan church, I think with a tank, they said. But can you really believe any of the fake news? Isn't everything just clickbait to make online publishing revenue? I mean, if the priest is in the back room, putting a bandage on his leg because he's got a nick there, he's bleeding a little bit. He's not in a hospital with like a gaping chest cavity wound. I mean, isn't it all just fake news, Pepe? Or essentially a publishing business. It's clickbait. It's making money. And that's what you're not doing. It's what I'm trying to do. You're just not getting paid for your rooms, Dr. PP. Deeply sad, yeah. Oh no, how many passed away? Let's see. What did the Pope say? I'm deeply saddened to learn of the loss of life and injuries caused by the military attack on the Holy Family Catholic Church in Gaza. I assure the parish community of my spiritual closeness. I commend the souls of the deceased to the loving mercy of Almighty God. Pray for their families and the injured. I renew my call for an immediate ceasefire. Only dialogue and reconciliation can ensure enduring peace. So when he says, I commend the souls, he is the one, the viceroy, the regent of God, who directs the souls of the dead back to God. Don't you think that's a flex? Pope Leo is flexing. That's power. That's real supernatural power, don't you think, Dr. BP? He's like Emperor Palpatine, but from the southwest side of Chicago and a Sox fan. I wonder if he's a Cox fan, too. I don't think so. I don't get gay vibes from this Pope. What do you think? Mike Gaydar says he's not gay. I think he's one of the good ones so far. How do you think they're going to find peace in the Middle East? I don't think you can find it with these people. That's my opinion. So here I am warming up Dr. Peepee's room like always. He brings me in, he lets me talk my shit, the room grows, and then sooner or later mom comes in and then they kick me in the goo. Classic Dr. Peepee. Every show's the same. He's a bigot, he's a misogynist, he's a xenophobic, white trash, poor, low IQ Arizonan who got punched 2 times. Oh, he left. Dr. Peepee left. Beaver. Oh, he's back. Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was talking the whole time, and I was like, why is this fucker talking over me nonstop?
I was the power of Hashem. He was muting your mic because you create such clickbait bullshit. And you use me to draw in the room. You use my essence to grow your power in the waste of your time this afternoon. But I am going to the gym. In 3 minutes, I got a heart out. I'm going to go work out while you run your room and waste your afternoon.
So is it propaganda that the Pope, when the Pope ends up releasing a...
Of course it's political propaganda.
Oh, yeah, it's the Pope. Yeah, he's so.
I'm not saying I don't dislike. I like this Pope. I told you that my gaydar doesn't go off when I hear this Pope speak. He's from Chicago. There's some good Polacks and some good Catholics that come out of Chicago. Good people.
Yes.
You guess. The guy seems like a solid guy. Listen, this conflict is brutal and savage. I mean, it's a street fight to the death. It's a death fight. You know, it's horrific. But guess what?
One where they shoot, where they just shoot innocent fucking Christians and kill two of them. Amazing.
Guess what life is like? It's horrifically barbaric. This is reality. Nobody wants it to be so, but welcome to the reality of life. I've read enough history books. It's the history.
I give a shit about, so by using that logic, why should I give a shit about dead Jews then?
What I'm trying to say is, I don't think that there will ever be peace because most people are not dedicated or interested in just communication. Too many people literally pick up rifles and helmets and rockets, and there's so much industry behind all this fighting. You can't stop it. It's the genie's out the bag, the cat's out the bottle. War and brutality and savage behavior between humans is a never-ending cycle. It's just, that's life. Welcome to the brutal realities of the animal kingdom. I mean, I like peace, and I read about peace, but I don't see peace. I just see crime, I see murder, and I see really shitty people everywhere I go all the time now. Welcome to reality. Well, maybe you want to talk about a hitchhiker you recently abducted and killed and put in a bath acid at your house. What do you think about that, Dr. Pee-Pee? Does that get you excited? Haven't I warmed your room up enough so you can create your new hate speech propaganda stupidity room? It's just getting started. The waste of your afternoon has just begun, and the liberation of my afternoon will begin soon after you kick me from your stupid room. When was the last time you read a book, you little fucking loser? Tell us the last book you read, Dr. Pee-Pee. Go ahead. Tell us the last interesting book you read. When was the last time you got through 10 pages in a book, Dr. Pee-Pee? Probably never. It's like you got kicked in a donkey in your face and you got a fucking tumor the size of your schmeckle inside your brain. You're stupid. When was the last time you read a book, stupid? Tell us about the book. Hello, Dr. Pee-Pee. Is anybody home up there? Hello? Anybody home? Or did the boxers that you boxed bash your brain in so bad all you can do is open hate speech content creation rooms? When was the last time you educated yourself or educated somebody else? Hello? Are you just this stupid? You're not even getting paid for what you're doing. You're not even publishing what you're doing. You must have the worst case of stupidity and brain damage I've seen in a long time. Hello? Oh, King Solomon's here. He's another one. Look at him in his cool PTR and all his Bitcoin millions. Wow, King Solomon, the academic, intellectual genius of our times, is here to also enlighten us with his wisdom. Come on up, King Solomon, and tell us about the last book you read. Because I bet you probably read less books than Dr. Pee-Pee here.
But you can just tell us about do you want to talk more about the terrorist Gazans that were killed in the church?
I want to ask you something. When I first mentioned Jesus in our mouth, you want to kick Baba Kadama. You kicked him out because he was insulting Jews. What happened?
He didn't insult Jews. He's just nonstop. He'd be like, nigger, cut. Fuck, 6 million wasn't enough. Fuck the Jews. Fuck the niggers. You guys are horrible. That was his whole thing. It's just God damn.
Yeah, but you kicked him because of the Jews. Yes, he used to say the N-word. That was your hope, right? But the problem you had was when he started talking about Jews. So I want to know, what really made you split?
What? I'm not attacking Jews. I'm attacking Israel.
Musanda, he attacks everybody all the time. The guy is literally toxic. Musanda. Musanda, the guy hates himself. Pepe hates himself, Musanda. Why do you think he's here and does this? He's fucking depressed loser. Stephen Bader's here. Hey, Stephen, kick me out of the Exicon rooms recently, Dr. Bader. How's your political career going, Dr. Bader?
I'm just saying, he's way too much sight.
To me, it's almost like you off in and off out.
Bader the masturbator. Bader the tater. Bader the clown. Kick Congressman candidate John.
It's about bad issues like what? But I really want to ask this question. We've been in rooms talking about bad issues and whatnot, right? But I want to ask you this. We're considering white women. Do you think white women are more likely to abort white babies compared to biracial babies?
I have no fucking idea.
No, I'm just asking them for a reason, in the sense of just a conclusion. I'm trying to. Why is no one coming up? Why is no one coming up? Why are people so scared?
Probably because it's a controversial title.
I'm a surgeon.
Controversial title.
Exactly.
And Jews like to whine a lot. They cry. You know, so.
Yeah, but your other channel about women don't deserve jobs, so many men were coming in. I wonder why this one is so controversial. They don't want to come on.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit. They attacked the Catholic Church. It's an accident, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna be honest, man. Are they actual real Christians in the U.S. or they just so-called Christian national? Which even today, I don't even know what the fuck that means. I'm an atheist Christian national. I'm sure you've heard that quote.
No, I've never heard someone say they're atheist Christian nationalists.
But the Christian nationalists, as in most of them who don't believe in God, they just believe in the culture of Christianity. You've heard them.
I've heard that, but they're not Christian nationalists.
Pepe is a low IQ, racist, subhuman shit. He's Peter.
Yeah, that's his thing. He likes to talk shit.
Yeah, man, what happened to this guy, man? I mean, shit. I miss Gaddafi. I can't believe I miss Gaddafi. I really miss the guy. What happened to that pedophile that was always in your room? Eduardo, or whatever the name is. What happened to him?
Oh, you're talking about Europa?
Europa, yeah. What happened?
He goes by Hermes. Sometimes you see him in other rooms on here.
Wait, did you hate him before that shit came out, or like, was it after?
Yeah, no, we ended up like kicking him out of our space because he threatened mine.
Yeah, but why did you push? Oh, so you hated him before that shit came out?
Yeah. He said he was gonna chop Mon's head off and piss down her throat. That's how we.
But doesn't that scare you a little bit, Pepe? I mean, I don't live in the U.S., but they could actually find that guy's information.
And by brief periods of rapid evolutionary change often associated with speciation events.
If you guys want to get trolled by Republicans, you bring them up. So it's up to you guys.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I know about that too, Cora. I was just like, it's not punctuated. It's something, and it could just be like a layman term that people are throwing around. But it's basically like, hey, they're in their death throes, right? So that's why it's so much, so fast, so aggro, so desperate, so loud, so obvious,
bullshit.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, dude, but like, that's not. This is only growing, and it is gonna keep growing. And I mean, I don't necessarily like it either, but you know.
No, it's
I
not
mean, that's
growing.
a nice story.
No.
Yeah, it is growing.
No, it's not.
It is growing.
No, it's not.
It is.
There are dinosaurs out there, man.
I mean, it's just gonna keep. It's just gonna be a bigger thing, and Europe is next. Okay. And the real question is like, what does a constructive right wing look like, and how do we tell that story?
Model, though. Like, how far to the right are we going to swing? You know, you have to determine that.
Europe, how far to the right is Europe going to swing? It can swing far. I don't know. I can't tell you. But it's going to be more right in 2 years than it is this year, and so on and so forth.
I don't think that's been the pattern, though. I think it's been every swing to the right has been less right so far.
But even like here in Holland, your Democrats would be considered right wing. So in America, you have a different.
Our Democrats would be considered right wing in Holland?
In Holland, yes, but
Yeah.
James, I mean, the growth of right wing parties in Europe is a real phenomenon.
It's a danger to democracy.
Well, you can say that, but it's happening.
People are sick of all these illegal aliens coming in and taking over your country and making it a Muslim country.
Nobody's taking over my
Just remove this guy.
Just remove this guy. All right, give me 60 seconds of your time as I put in the chat, and I will prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that God exists.
I mean, this disappointed me consistently before this, so I have no reason that today will be any different.
Okay, well, you are going to waste 60 seconds of your time on this app listening to me or other people, so just give me 60 seconds. Here we go. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.
Just remove this
If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for men, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. I will be a father to you, and you will be my sons and daughters, says the Lord Almighty. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of...
I'm literally dying here. I'm literally dying.
Oh, thank you for 60 seconds.
Probably would be dead too.
He's Northern dying on us. Good performance, Congressman. It was a good performance. No way, dude. He's the best. You guys just gotta let him. It's his performance. We give him a performance every day. He just wants 60 seconds. Just let him have it. Yeah, I really appreciate how he's very polite. He moves himself to the audience on his own. I look forward to the different presentations that come forth from him. You know, he has different ones and different theatrical, and I always appreciate it. Thank you. It actually made me happy that was it Jason or the other guy that was all upset, was freaking out that he left. That made me happy because he's a smug prick. Oh shit, really? One day when I was talking to this Muslim about like the Quran confirming the previous scriptures, the Torah, the Zabur, and the Injil, and he was like, "That's not what it is." He didn't know anything about it at all, and he just fucking kept coming to this Muslim's defense as if he knew anything about it at all. Dumb fuck. Oh wait, I don't know. Are you still here, Jason?
Yes,
James, look, it's just the right wing, the rightward shift of the world. No, we need more right wing ideas and beliefs. And Europe in particular needs to become like, yeah, you know what you guys need in Europe? Plastic bags and straws that are functional. Okay? Functional straws and plastic bags, that'd be a good start.
I saw this funny thing on Instagram where it's like Donald Trump was talking about the paper straws and like the Seinfeld music was playing in the background.
Well, I mean, have you ever tried to use a paper straw? I recently had to use one.
Yeah.
It was a straw.
They kind of just fall apart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the stupidest thing.
I don't really use straws anyway, but yeah, they get stuck in some poor dolphin's blowhole, you know.
Yeah, or up a turtle's nose. It's sad.
Well, that has to do with how you dispose of them. Have functional straws. I mean, these paper straws do not work.
It's a bummer, man.
Buy yourself a fucking straw you can wash and reuse.
Yeah, a metal straw, sure. Yeah, you can have a metal straw. Right.
So are you a Hindu, Jason?
No, I'm a Buddhist. What are you then?
Oh, I'm not a religion.
I thought so. Just right.
You were right. You're a good thinker.
I mean, we have the avatar of Vishnu on the stage.
Okay, moderators, as I requested just 30 more seconds of your time, the steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. The Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take.
And see. Awesome. That was great. Thank you for doing that again. I really do like how he uses skating tables to his time limits. He puts himself in the audience when he's not. It's really actually it's very diplomatic.
I would also like to thank him for using normal John voice.
Yeah, he has voice.
He can do his Shaloi, hello.
I freaking hate that.
Thanks again, John.
It was the heat.
Next time, can you read from Aesop's Fables or The Prophet by Khalil Gibran? Thank you.
I'm reading Dead Babies right now. It's a pretty good one.
You're eating dead babies?
Yeah, I'm reading Dead Babies.
It didn't sort of sound like you said eating dead babies, and I was like, well, what do they taste like? Is that it seems like not something.
God does not laugh at babies who die. God doesn't. He weeps, he cries. With every life that is lost, it hurts him.
I mean, technically,
don't inflict that.
there's probably a lot of dead babies in all soil everywhere, so in some way, shape, or fashion,
So here.
eating dead babies whenever you eat.
There's a song called Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun.
You're saying that was a Dr. Memento song?
Yeah. We're the same age, dude.
Yeah. Really, this dead puppies are something.
Puppy.
Don't knock it before you try it.
Fish, hands, only fish.
What's a payola?
We're just fucking ideas.
I started the room. I started a joke. And I was thinking of everyone when they were like, oh, your logical fallacy, this and that. And I'm like, appeal to logic fallacy. And I was thinking, it does have an application if you are to do with context collapse. Like if you enter a room and there's a conversation going and they're just joking and you take it seriously and start appealing to logic, but they're just trolling, then your appeal to logic is a fallacy if you don't understand the context. And then there's really to talk about the internet and algorithms and Meta and Google But then this guy joined and just turned into the usual religion, like, I believe in So that's what happened, and now we're here. So it's kind of like free for all. I didn't expect the topic to remain relevant for all this time or anything. So it's fine. Yeah. What?
About Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
Okay.
Who would those five people be?
Depraved? Oh man. I thought Matt Yester was like one of the worst Christians on here. Of course, as a Calvinist, it's almost like redundant you say that. He blocked me a long time ago. He's just a piece of shit. I just ended up yelling at him. Muslim-wise, depraved. Who's the most like dishonest? Cynic is pretty stupid. Mahdi's horrible. Yeah, Mahdi's. But I don't know if that's a language barrier. I can't figure out what his words is.
He's just when Mahdi becomes Ford, like, is he? Are they that crazy? Like the people behind the scenes on this app?
I don't know about Judaism because Jewish people just seem a little bit more level-headed in general. I can't think of like a time like a toxic Jewish person besides Caleb was on a panel.
I think the viciousness of this app is, which in his early days was, oh my God, it was vicious. It was vicious. Suddenly so, and it is, oh my God, what are horrid crimes, oh my God.
I might be one of the more toxic atheists on here. I'm sure that you can make a case for that.
Oh, that would be me.
If you go into Andrew's room, I'm sure he'll say that about me.
Look, I actually choose, like, who's the worst out of Christianity? Andrew. He's a dishonest piece of shit. The Muslims,
James is unhappy with my cigarette.
And of the Jewish people, El Momo. He's also a scumbag.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I guess, yeah. He is kind of a piece of shit. That's true.
He is.
They're always feeling they're just very dishonest. That they can't be honest about their own religion because they know their ideas are stupid, and if they answer questions directly, it's just straight into absurdity street, and they know that, and they're just not like man enough to fucking admit it, and that's I think what bothers them about us. Bothers us about them.
And vice versa.
Like if I have some stupid thing I believe, and you point it out, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, that's probably I shouldn't, like I don't really have anything to lie about. That's why that's Tina's size. But yeah, so.
There's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. But when you say I don't know, that implies you want to find out and learn.
Of course I don't know.
I don't know is like kryptonite to stupid people.
Of course I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Only thing I know is that I don't know.
Yeah. But do I want to know?
Krishna
said, manifest. If you worship Krishna as Krishna,
knowing nothing.
He loves simply the devotees who worship Krishna more than the ones who look into the unseen.
How would you love Krishna not as Krishna? How would you do that?
I don't know. We have to ask Krishna.
Well, I know, but you said, you made this condition. You said, if you love Krishna as Krishna, something good would happen. But is there a way that implies that there's some other way to love him as not Krishna?
Not only that, what you just said implies that the father only loves some of his children. How is that a good thing?
No, so
that's the implications of your words.
Not just my words. Not just my words.
Do you want to rehabilitate what you said? You can.
No, I think we're all here. The story was summarized, briefly. We've all had this shared experience. Personally, I do not know any of you personally. I just know you without any context. But whatever I can entire spectrum of humanity has been presented here. And, I've lived through all of it consistently over the last 4.5 years. I plan to keep doing that. Hare Krishna, and that's about it. Thank you for listening to me. And this is Genesis, so yeah. There you go.
Listen, if you're an atheist, I think you just don't like books, and all you want to do is exchange opinions all the time, and you fail to realize that this is a self-roast room. People come here for catharsis and rarely get it because most people hate wisdom. If you enjoy wisdom...
See, again, it's the same. He's like, to the point, very well. You appreciate it, man. I like your style.
Harry here. If you made a cheese, what would you eat yourself?
You have to start that with a
I do like the fact that I can completely predict what he's going to say, so it kind of like establishes the sense of like connection with the universe. It's almost like, yeah, really.
He's obviously certified.
He said he's a comedian. Does he do stand-up comedy in Chicago? Does he perform this way live? How does he fill up like 20 minutes with material? That's what I want to see. Like, can he really pull that off?
And he probably has like an account full of bots, so he sets up like artificial viewership for his like videos that he uploads, so he can like feel special about himself.
Build your own audience.
Right.
Anywho, what's up, y'all newbies to the panel?
Yeah, are there any theists on stage or not?
Caleb.
He's not a theist.
Hans is borderline.
He's borderline too.
Krishna, but of course it's like.
Krishna's not a real theist. What about Chi-Chi? That is Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi. Oh, Chi-Chi. Yeah, how does that account? He's a gem.
He's a what?
He's a gem. Shining gem.
Oh, a gem.
Emerald. Yeah, he's an emerald.
You miserable, spineless reptiles.
Kitover, I'm so sorry you're feeling this way.
Inhumanity to man or whatever it is, John. Sorry.
Dude, I think John's actually really funny. He reminds me kind of a guy I was in college with, actually.
Was too much, too quick.
Is that too much too quick, right? I mean, if it's coming in with such phenomenal force, I mean, there's got to be a reason why, it is doing that. It's going to hurt.
What it depends. If you have a message and you want to spread that message, you have to make it as palatable as possible. And he fails to do that steadfastly. He doesn't come in and say, hi, how you guys doing? He comes in, what? It's an explosion.
He's very good at his reactions. This is not going to happen again. He's pointing out something. I think we should listen.
Yeah, he's got some good points. I'm not saying anything.
Such as?
I think he has kind of like a good overview of some things about human psychology and sociology and how it relates to like politics, media, and stuff like that. And he's fairly well read apparently. He's always talking about reading books, and it seems like he's read a lot of books. So I mean, that's more than I can say. I haven't read a lot of books.
Maybe you might not have read as much as he is, or he has, but I know you're much smarter than he is. So, reading books is not the end-all be-all. Because a lot of people read books, but unfortunately, stupid people prefer reading books they don't understand. And the reason why they don't understand it, want to do the legwork, it's like building a house. The house looks beautiful, but a house is only as good as its foundation. And then ChatGPT, instead of helping people get smarter, it's making people get lazier. And it's not teaching them. When you give somebody an answer to a question, you're not teaching them anything. I've never used ChatGPT, never felt the need to. Will that always be the case? Probably not.
I mean, it's a great tool to learn something. Like if I don't understand something, I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, I don't understand this subject. Can you dumb it down for me? And it does a pretty good job.
Sure. Like I was born in the 60s, so we didn't have the, internet with Google, so I had to read books. And the funny thing is, I'm 60 years old, and I can still remember a lot of the books that I read growing up. That shit stays for you forever.
By the way, I have Andrew blocked, but he can't come in here.
I want to shut him out. But I didn't need to.
I found out recently that he's blocked me. So Andrew blocked me after we had no disagreement, nothing. I don't really interact with him. And it's all because of it's all because of all that drama. Like he's like, I'm like, really? You're getting involved in that? It's such a beta male. It's like, what?
Yeah, Albedo was the one. I like Albedo, but at the same time, I don't agree with what he did. He came into the room and blasted you in front of everybody in the room and asked everybody to block you in the room.
Was this recently?
Yeah, this was about a month ago, roughly.
Right. No, I know that because he's trying to get all involved in my relationship with the woman on here. It's the weirdest fucking simping behavior I've ever seen. It's just crazy. And so it's like, and now I see whoever's like falling for that bullshit. It's just like, oh, I see. Like, you're a fucking cuck. That's what you people are. It's just bonkers that like no one should care. Just be like, okay, whatever.
All of the spookies join us. What people don't hear and what people don't see, they cannot talk about. The worst thing you can do is, expose your business, because there's people on this app that live.
I did that because of her actions. I'm not getting into it, but I'm saying like I know exactly what was going to happen, and if she could have avoided the whole thing, but because she's like, I don't know where her fucking brain is at. But anyway, not to go into it, but yeah, it's just funny how it all worked out. It kind of shows me what people are made of, and I kind of already had an idea, so it just reinforces my fucking misanthropy. To be honest, it's all good.
I'm just sorry that it had to go down that far.
Me too. I had no interest in talking about any of this shit, to be honest. I did not. And I didn't want to do it.
When you said that you did, I was shocked. That somebody else said that about you. I would have never believed that, but it came out of your own. I have to tell you, when you told me, I was a bit disappointed for a time or two.
Oh yeah, me too. I feel not bad for her. I don't really give a shit, but it's just like, yeah, yeah, for me. But like, anyway, so if you hear anything about me and you want to clarify anything, I'll answer whatever you want to know. Honestly, just go ahead and ask me. Like I'm an open door. I have no reason to be weird about it. But if you want want to get caught up in their whole poisoning the well and making up shit about me, go ahead. So it kind of tells me who you are. Not you, but I mean like in general. You know, it lets me know. So it's fine.
I've never in 10,000 years asked you, so what's up with you? And we know the person.
Who are you?
The only people that really know, anything about it, James, are me and Cora. The only people that actually know the situation. So it's like, you know, get it from the source or get it from gossip. Whatever you want to do.
To be honest with you, I've never had Albedo mention your name. And you know, in this whole saga, I'm even shocked that it even goes deeper than I thought it did. But he's never said a bad word about you in front of me now.
Yeah.
He probably knows you and I are friends, that's why he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he wants to poison the well. That's all it is. Because, and the reason why is like even more disturbing. It's like, why did, you know, the question you should ask is, why does he care? That's the fun thing. Why does someone get involved with someone else? Like why would someone do that? You know, if I found out that you were involved with someone and I got like really involved in it, mad about it, it's like, this is weird. This says a lot about Albedo and his, I don't know what, sheltered existence, his lack of whatever. I just don't understand people like that. But yes, if you want to make me into a bad guy, that's really easy to do. It's easy to make me into a monster because that's like it's real.
You know what it is, brother?
Yeah, and for me, like at the time, you know, I like Albedo for certain things. Even though I don't spend a whole lot of time with him, you know, I've always just felt like he seemed to be kind of a genuine person.
General election in UK, would you think Reform will win in landslide? Do you think Reform will win in landslide if we have a general election in UK?
Miss Hanukkah, you're doing really obsessed with you.
Who the fuck is my Jewish boyfriend? What?
You know he is. He lives in Abby's country.
In Abby's country?
Abby.
Oh my god, my jigaboo is actually fucking crying. Hold on.
Jacob, what you think about my friends?
Well, Jacob is the master now. Jacob, how did you become the green bean supermod?
No, this is not
This is not the Jacob. Mama do it, and then everyone else do it.
Oh God, you're not the one with the restraining order. My bad.
No, as far as we know, the Jacob is on top does not have any restraining orders against him.
Who's Jacob? I got a restraining order.
Crazy.
Yeah, Jacob thinks he has bipolar. What's a restraining order?
Who the fuck is fucking, bro?
Must be getting hard.
Who's bringing his iPhone 13 into his ass and fucking, man? That's a nice shit.
This guy sounds like a Mexican.
Excuse me, bitch?
I'm not Mexican, but I'm Mexican.
He's definitely the Mexican-Russian.
Do not insult my ethnicity.
Well, your ethnicity is BON.
Heck yeah. I'm from Palestine.
Welcome back to Julian's Imaginary Sea World, a place of fantastic imaginations and original journey.
Let's go gambling.
That's the national anthem. That's Kanye West.
Wait, who's that guy in the pictures? Is that Somali?
Sorry, yeah.
So I was in the room and I was listening to these cucks talking about, you know, how big their biceps were, blah, 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 and I pushed this and I squat that. And I forgot I said something to someone. And I got booted.
Yeah.
So all I move to the audience.
Exactly, because you're not part of their in group, so it doesn't matter. Like what you did isn't important. It's like being in junior high school, and it's like they're a little clique. That's all it is, man.
Yeah. It is. You know, like in that group, who the useful idiot is Converse. He thinks they told him to it because they respect him and like him. He's like Tom Rabbit's John Lee.
Yeah, they don't respect Albedo either. They talk shit about him when he's gone around because he says really dumb shit.
Well, if I'm gonna beef with you, right? I'm not gonna talk shit behind your back.
Abby, aren't you Jewish, Abby?
Especially now she's a nigger.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, parents, shut the fuck up. You can't be like me now, baby. I knew you were a nigger. Oh my god, Rami, why do you have Jazzy and PT?
That was a great song.
He's like a cool monkey with sunglasses.
Terrence, thanks for playing that song. That really summarized. Oh, catch me, hope on the room.
Shut up, wow.
Oh, Mom and Abby.
Abby, put me down.
Congressman, he boomed the room.
It's like, God.
Shut up, Blue.
Zach, I mean, what is it?
Jacob, mod the room. Mod me.
No, not me.
Mod me.
I want Taco Bell.
Mom, I want Taco Bell for dinner.
There's too much juice in here.
Al, cool PTR, Al. I love it. Hey, Al, Abby, didn't you make me a kitty cat PTR?
I have an AK-47.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Is it locked to 70 or is it full?
It's full on.
Oh,
I got it from a military gun show.
Okay.
Yeah. I live in a military town. A whole bunch of Marines sold it to me.
I'm looking for one. Yeah, like a drum magazine too, buddy.
Why do you want a rifle?
So if you ever fuck with me, this faggot will shoot you up like Columbine. So keep it up.
50 rounds in a magazine. I like that.
You know, faggots are mentally ill, so come on now. Wake
But
up.
Pussy doesn't need a rifle. He's so annoying. He can destroy you with his voice.
You know, I should have joined the Marines.
You would have been so good as a gay person in the Marine Corps. But they outlawed trannies, so you wouldn't have made it.
Wait, this Jacob is like the other Jacob.
Jacob has a twin brother. Jacob has a twin.
Jacob with you, which is collect disabilities. That's crazy.
Oh my god. Now we know the word Jacob, they're all mentally ill and fucking like.
If your name is Jacob, you instantly get a snap card.
He is an actor. He is an actor. But you know what? You know what, Jacob? You're a professional bipolar person. You're an actor. What? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you get a character.
If you're a great actor, you're automatically bipolar.
My teacher once gave me permission to say half of it, which I didn't understand because I was going to say that shit anyway. Jacob, are you Somali?
Yes. I told you, Jacob, you have a nigger.
Look at me. I am the mayor now. Look at me. I am the mayor now.
You know your captain.
Look at me. I am the mayor now.
No, Jacob, are you from Mogadishu? From what? Mogadishu. I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh, that's the capital of Somalia. geography.
Okay.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me, brother. I am the mayor now.
I'm a front white man.
Okay.
You're not calling.
Look at me now. I am the mayor now.
Give me your clock so I can suck on something.
I'm a big book.
Try to take these conversations with a grain of salt. And because we know exactly the talking points to bring up to Christians to back them into a corner. The slavery or stoning virgins or punishing David's 10 wives having great for something he did. There's just so many things we can point to, and they know those things are in there. So it's like, what? How are we going to dance around this one today? How are we going to make a pretzel out of this? And so it's kind of like a little unfair, I guess. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
You're a smarter man than I am.
That's so not.
I just think it's cruel. I think it's just cruel. I mean, it's cruel. It's not a. Why would you do that?
James is not smart
that person
then.
is not smart. To know that there's piranhas on the stage. Why would you do that?
Because of my conflict with my ex, and the thing is like she takes her online reputation on Clubhouse and Discord way more seriously than I do, so I knew I was going to get blowback too. So it's kind of like Fidel Castro, where it's like, yeah, I know I'm keeping missiles here for Russia, and if I use them, I'll get destroyed in the process. And like, well, why'd you do that? Like, and you go, well, Fidel Castro, he's not stupid. He's a sane, rational person. He leads a country. Like, he's not like an idiot. So it's almost like I was like, and
Wants to become great among you, must be your servant.
Okay, because you broke an agreement, now our relationship is no longer a private issue. And I knew it was going to make me look bad. But I was just like, I had to, I'm just trying to get her to back the fuck off. And that's why I did it. So there's my actual reason for doing that.
Under pressure, we do things that we normally would not ever do.
Yeah.
Now, is it you did what you did, a bad person, or you did what you did, reacting to what other people were doing?
No, it was her, right? This is all to do with her. None of this to do with Albedo or anything. This is to do with her. And if you really want to get to the core of it, that's all it is. It's really simple. Like, I'm not that complicated. Yeah.
I hope you learn from this.
Well, I learned from I'm not going to date Clubhouse people anymore. That's fucking true.
That's the best lesson you could have learned.
Yeah. I learned it. Trust me.
Listen, that you're talking about, I have to see them in months. At least 5 or 6 months.
Who?
I'm not the person you are talking about.
Yeah, that was by design. She deleted her account. Yeah. That was a conversation we had. Like, do not be in spaces that I'm in. Like, her behavior was so fucked up. Like, you have no idea the toxic shit I put up with it. You think I'm being toxic in my reaction to this? You just seen the shit that she put me through. So, like, I really just don't want to hear it. If she wants to play the victim and try to get these little simps in Andrew's room to kind of, like, do her bidding or whatever, like, that just kind of proves my point, in my opinion. That, if she wants to be a piece of shit, then deal with the consequences. That's my lesson to her. She should have left it alone.
You're a dumb cunt. Why didn't you stick your strap on?
Any sane person, and I've never
She have a great ass.
Realize that any sane person talking to you would automatically know if provoked there will be consequences. It's not like she did it to a stranger.
It's such a waste of time.
That wasn't how you would react.
Yeah, and once again, the reason why this all started was because all of a sudden one day, Sasha and Timothy started talking about things that only she and I could have known. Unless she started talking about this, the gossiping about it to people on, direct messages on Clubhouse. So I was like,
oh, this is too funny.
It was like, what do you mean? Why are you accusing me of these things? I'm like, how would you even know that? Then I realized that she was starting to like try to like triangulate against me. And Cora remembers this. And so I'm like, okay, you want to do this? Let's go nuclear. And that's exactly why I did what I did. So just so you know, James, like how it started, like that's the reason things went in this direction. Was because all of a sudden Sasha and Timothy were being used to bully me about stuff in a personal relationship I had with her. A physical relationship, like in person. Like, you know, these people have never met her. You know, it's
that book, Simon, even if you read some,
No,
I highly recommend.
Welcome back to Julian Sea World, a place of fantastical imagination and epic journeys and voyages where you can waste your life talking about nothing for years on end. Congratulations, you are all now more stupid and retarded for participating in this communication. End of transmission.
Wait, that's good. You should play that actually. You like that one? Yeah, that's good. This is a warning. There's a kite in the audience. Please put the circles and points inside the bucket. Thank you.
Give some credit to Edmund. It sounds like he's been here a while.
I thought I'd get a fucking cut pipe named Kevin in here.
Welcome back to Julian's Fantastic Sea Voyage, where people waste all the time for weeks and years on end. You will hear everything that can possibly be said. There's nothing new under the sun in Julian's Sea World.
Fucking Elmo quiet.
October 7th was a make-believe.
Just ignore it now.
Yeah, no, I don't take him seriously unless he's flirting with me. Then I take it seriously.
Kevin's a low-grade faggot who goes to parties and kisses guys to find out if he's gay. When did you?
They're usually this.
The one is both become Islamic nation. And it's just spent a 12-day to defeat IRGC, attempting to have a nuclear weapon with ballistic missile that can reach any corner of Europe. So the last thing we want is that such a percentage of population in France and UK did not understand the risk
Spending by the federal government. I don't know how to do it.
Did not allow it.
Congress obviously is the most democratic institution.
All right, I'm going to restart.
Congress passed the bill to fund those institutions. Okay, great. Now Congress is changing its mind and probably is going to defund them. But the funding and defunding should be led by Congress. Obviously, because they control the purse strings of the government. So that's where the decisions should be made. They should be made democratically. And it seems to me like this bill is going to pass democratically in a deeply divided nation. And therefore, let's get on with cutting the spending. So I, in general, support it, but this idea of having food go to waste, millions of dollars of food. Oh, the other question I guess I have, Jerry, they're cutting $9 billion. You said that the grand total of federal money that goes to PBS is $500 million, $400 and something million. Does that mean that $8.5 billion of that bill is cutting USAID, or is your estimate that the cuts to PBS and NPR and the other, I mean, there are only 3 items on your list up there at the top. So if only $400 million is coming out of is going to defund PBS, then where's the $8.5 billion being defunded? Is it all USAID? I doubt it, but
I'm gonna restart this.
As I said in my opening commentary, that there are other programs that are being cut as well, but these are the three that seem to be getting the most attention. So that's why I mentioned the three.
So you're saying that the NPR PBS cut is $400+ million, and the rest is other things. Is that what you said?
Right, example.
I would be interested to hear
Bro's tweaking.
that